Hey, up me ducks. How are we doing? Hope everybody's doing okay. Lovely to see everybody in chat. I'm going to pop the comments up on my screen, and we'll do the usual hellos and welcomes. I don't know what it's like where you are, but we've had amazing thunderstorms this afternoon. So I've got candles lit. It's a little bit dark. It is starting to clear up, and I can see blue skies on the horizon. But it's been lovely. An afternoon with rain thrashing against the window, the rumbling of thunder, the flashing of lightning. I love a good storm. So yeah, September is really telling us that summer is well and truly done. Marilyn was the first in. Hello, Marilyn. Nice to see you. Closely followed by our Sandra. Hi, Sandra. We have Nika. Hello. Then we have Will. Hi, Will. Golden is with us. Hello, Golden. And lovely Elspeth. Hello. Vintage Moon. Hello. Lel. Lily Rose. Apox. Kay's here. Hi. Forever Whereafter, and Esco, and Rachel, and Argil. Marcella is here. Kat, hello. The lovely Jen is here. Hi, Jen. Artemis. The lovely Laurie. Hello, Laurie. We also have Steph, Kathy, Christine, Chewy, Dawn, Becca. Hey up, Becca. How are you? Sarah and Joanna. I was going to say Joanne then, and I realised there's an A, so that's why it came out sort of Joanna. Trisha. Hi, Trisha. Jennifer. Lucy. Ferdiad. Hello, Ferdiad. And we have D. And I think that's took me to the bottom. So, yeah, how is everyone doing? Hopefully there's enough light. I could put the one on behind me, but that gets a little bit annoying. But have we all got a cuppa? Are we all ready to have a chat? Cheryl's here as well. Hello, Cheryl. Nice to see you. Nothing like a nice hot cuppa either, is there? So what's been happening with everybody? And let us know what you're having to drink. The shelves are looking neat and tidy. Yes, well, in a bit, a few people made a suggestion about, if I want to let go of decks, perhaps show one a week or something like that I want to let go of. I don't really want the lives to become like an auction. I'm not really wanting to do that. But I've got 2 decks today that I'm letting go of. I did sell a couple in the week through a trade group. It's a trade and selling group. There are a couple of decks on my wish list that I want to get. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll show the 2 decks, and then I'm open to trades. Both are out of print. And it's kind of out of print decks that I'm looking for, but I've also got others on my wish list. So if you see one and you think, actually, I won't mind that, then let me know, because I'm open to trade as well as selling. But it's not going to be a regular thing because, oh dear, what's up with me? I know what it is. I didn't go out this morning because the weather was so awful. So I've not been out in the day. I've not been out meeting friends in town for coffee or anything like that. So I've not spoken all day. And then suddenly I've been up since 5 a.m. because I got up to go for a walk and then saw the weather, text my friend, and he was like, yeah, it's the same here. So we decided to put it off until tomorrow morning, but then I couldn't get back to sleep anyway. But when you go all day, so what, 14 hours without speaking, and then suddenly you're live, and you've got to speak, my throat really sort of cherry yogurt, not quite a drink. Is it a Muller Light cherry yogurt? They're gorgeous. I do like the Onken ones as well, but they're high in fat content, so I can't have them. Tried rhubarb. Yeah, rhubarb is lovely. It's got a very distinctive taste, but I do like rhubarb tea. I'm new enough to tarot that I would not have anything you wouldn't have, Simon. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure. Won't be so sure at all. You better start singing as you potter about. Yeah, I ain't got that type of voice. It's an Asda fancy one. Very nice. What fancy rhubarb tea? Loving Giordano Bertie decks. The cardstock is lovely. Yeah, well, I've got this one out at the minute by Giordano and Bertie, which is the Perrin. I mean, yeah, handcrafted decks. I mean, look how beautiful that is. I love it. I love that it has the number and the Roman numeral as well. There's the death card. They feel really light, don't they? Because it's that nice, airy cardstock. But look at that. I love that the lobster's served up on a platter. Green Mountain coffee. I've not heard of Green Mountain. I know over here, Blue Mountain is very expensive, like really expensive. And then there's a cheap coffee that you can get, an instant coffee called Red Mountain. But Blue Mountain, they sell it in Whittards of Chelsea, but I could never afford to get it. It's, yeah, the Perrin is gorgeous. It is, Jen. It's really lovely. I'm really enjoying this one, the Metelli, by Marco Benedetti. The saga continues. I've had a week that is so frustrating with packages. So you remember 3 went missing. 1 turned out it hadn't gone missing. It hadn't even been dispatched weeks after it was ordered. They came. That was the Daniel Martin Diaz decks. Loving them. Really loving them. I'm itching to get into next month so I can start using them. But when he sent me the Metelli here, I realised, it's a handcrafted deck and it's got Rivoltini, so I know it takes a while and I know they're expensive. And he sent it me. So then, because he doesn't have a shop, he just advertises through his Facebook page, he created a Gassman, handcrafted again, not Rivoltini, but I thought, right, well, I'll order it as a thank you because, I've only got one Gassman, which is the Viewmond. And I put into the Facebook group, remind me to circle back to the Facebook group as well, that I got this email saying we need this number, that number. And I was like, what are they going on about? It was in the country. It had been stuck for days from last Thursday, because he ships with UPS and they do ship overseas quite quick. So it only took like 2 days to get from Italy to the UK. And I put, has anybody seen anything like this? And Cheryl and other people, and one of the administrators, the lovely Lisa, in our, she's an admin for the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, does that type of thing. She told me exactly what it was. And she said, it's looking like it's selling from a business to a business. So they want your codes, your tax codes and all that. So I wrote to them by this email and I said, Dear Lawrence, I'm not a business buying from a business. I'm just a customer buying from a business. I use a business address because I'm not in at home in the week and people can't get into the building to leave a card. He immediately replied at like 6 in the morning. I sent it like 5:30, saying, that's absolutely fine. I've set it for release. That was on Tuesday. So it said it was coming that afternoon, didn't come. I rang up Wednesday. It said, oh, it's coming today. And it said between 12:45 and 2:45, didn't come. Rang up Thursday, it's coming today, didn't come. So Friday, I put a complaint in because it's just stuck. They've released it and it's just sitting there and it's at the airport. And I'm like, if that bugger goes back, I'll be fuming. But in the meantime, I'd also ordered another deck that I saw Marilyn from, not our lovely Marilyn, another lovely Marilyn from Tarot Clarity, showed a deck that is so beautiful. The colours are beautiful. I'll not say what it is yet. Be a nice little surprise. But that also is handcrafted with Rivoltini. So I ordered that. And I've got a feeling that's going to arrive before the one I ordered like a week to 10 days before. But hey ho, it is what it is, you know. So, but if there are people out there that ship decks, please don't use UPS. They're just a nightmare. They just fob you off. And when I rang up to complain on Thursday, they said, we'll get somebody from the complaint department to ring you back today. Still waiting. Nobody rang back. So I put it in writing on Friday. But frustrating, isn't it? Because we get excited when we order stuff. And as someone just said, you know, I've scaled back. So any purchase I make now is a conscious decision. And carefully considered as to, is it going to add to my collection? UPS is awful, says Jen. Yeah, I've not had a lot of dealings with them. Where I used to work, we've moved out of the city. If you weren't there, it just went to this little shop, a mobile phone shop, as a drop-off point, and that was really handy because it was open till 7 p.m. every night. And I just walked down there, showed my ID, and off I went. But it is what it is. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure they'll come. And yeah, I'll be able to show you what they are. Another thing, hate UPS and FedEx. You see, I always had, hi Robin, by the way, I always had really good service as a customer from FedEx. Destiny ship by FedEx, and they were phenomenal. From Thailand, it would take like 3 days, 3 to 4 days. I'd get a shipping notification with a tracking number, and 3 to 4 days later, it was in my hands. And similarly, this deck, this little deck, was ordered on a Saturday from California of a bank holiday weekend, and it was here for the Thursday. So I've always had really good service with them, but never mind. My siren has been stuck for a month. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't it? Because I said to Cheryl the other night, we were chatting over text, and I said, I've just got a feeling it's going to go back. They'll say, we've lost it, because every day they're saying, yeah, it's going to come today, and it doesn't move. Have they lost it because it went into this hold where they had to contact me? And they were quite, I posted a screenshot. They were quite abrupt in saying, if we don't hear from you, we'll be charging you £15 something a day rental for keeping this package here. And I was like, are they keeping it there so they can now charge me rent for having it? But I've kept all the emails that says, that's fine. Thank you for explaining. We've released it. And I've lodged a complaint. So it's jumped away. Every gave my neighbour my tarot deck, and I got his trainers. I mean, if they're really cool trainers, but can you imagine your neighbour opening the trainers and there's a tarot deck? FedEx is better in the UK. DHL are a total nightmare. Yeah, I used to have issues with DHL, and DHL was the reason why I stopped having things sent here. Because I live in an apartment complex, if you're doing deliveries, you have to drive into a basement, which is under the shopping centre. So you've got the basement, you've got the car park, you've got the 2 floors of shopping centre, and then you've got the apartments, of which there's 19 in this area, 19 floors. So you drive into the basement, but then you use an intercom, and they'd say, "Hello, DHL, I've got your parcel." But if you don't answer your intercom, i.e., I'm out or I'm at work, they just get in the car and drive off. And you've got no calling card or anything because they can't get in to leave a calling card. Whereas Royal Mail can get in and out of the building because we all have to have post. So others will ring you or email you and say, "We've got your parcel, but you're not in. What do you want us to do?" DHL didn't, and I had packages that were going back overseas because I didn't even know they tried a delivery. So that's why I had to change what I did. And then I used to use my mum's address when she was alive, because my mum was housebound, so always home. She was quite agoraphobic. She couldn't go out on her own. So my stepdad would go to work or whatever he was doing, and my mum, was always home. So that was a good place to have parcels sent. But anyway, I just got a debt from the US and it arrived with no problems at all, and it was Royal Mail. Yeah, well, to be fair, even though I said about Daniel Martin Diaz, taking the time to ship it, once it was shipped, it came through via Royal Mail and it came straight to my work, and yeah, no issues. So I just spotted the little. If anybody saw the video the other day, did you see Graven? There is a crystal stand downstairs. They used to sell some tarot decks by Dark Cineva, but they close tomorrow. It's their last day tomorrow, and this was £50, but 50% off, closing down sale. And I love it. I've forgotten. He told me the crystal, but it's got these little chips in it. It's not going to show on here, but they sparkle on the inside. Can any crystal hound amongst you? I don't know if it's picking up, but when you look into it, it's all little crystally bits. But I called him Graven. I thought it was quite fitting. Very cool skull. Hi Saskia, nice to see you. I have had much trouble with decks. I haven't had much trouble with decks coming from England. Yeah, that's good. Oh my God. I'm in love with Daniel Martin Diaz. Yes, I mean, amazing. I've just actually been playing with the Oracle deck. And I pulled Courage. I mean, just look at that artwork. Isn't it amazing? He's going to do a coloured version. I sense it, because this is so like the original Earth Magic. So I've just been playing with that and pulling a card while I was waiting to come on. This little brochure as well. If you didn't see my walkthrough, look, this really excites me. The 1909 by Daniel Martin Diaz, on the same luxury playing card company, soft linen, like Pagan Otherworlds. I say that one because that's the one most people are familiar with. Marilyn, you mentioned this. You asked me about it, didn't you? And I said, "Oh, I've not heard it." Then I got this. Cheryl's on the case. She was the first person I messaged when I finished doing the filming. Oh, it's June next year. Oh, damn. Next year. I mean, he's got the box design. The cards are already designed and have been for the last 120 years nearly. He's got a printer. What's he waiting for? Hello all, love your blogs and your videos, Simon. We used to live in Staffordshire. Oh wow. I don't want that to, it's about to go off screen, so I'm just putting it here. We used to live in Staffordshire, so know all around Nottinghamshire and surrounds, and Glastonbury too. Now live in Orkney. Wow. Well, I've been invited to Sunday next year. You'll probably, if you live in Orkney, you'll probably be aware of Sunday. Oh, it goes down all by itself. I'm not touching anything. I thought the comments stayed up until you took them down. It must be a new thing. That's good though, isn't it? Because I very often forgot to take comments down, particularly if you're showing something. Is Staffordshire north of London? Yes, it is. It's over on the west. So Coventry, Staffordshire, West Midlands, kind of touches upon Oxfordshire as well. So show us your wizard, please. I beg your pardon, Lily Rose. Show us your wizard, please. Oh, the wizard. Oh, yeah. So I got him last week from Barbara Micklejohn Free and Flavia Kate Peters' shop in Buxton. So I really like him. And, you know, we get lots of witches and things, don't we? So I thought, well, he can live up there. Say hello to us all. Is that a code, Lily? Show us your wizard. Oh dear. So also I did a mod job this week. Did you see it on Instagram? If you don't follow me on Instagram, it's the Hermit's Cave, but there are underscores between. What is Orkney famous for? The little islands north of Scotland, so they're beautiful. Did you respond about Sunday? I don't know if I sort of missed that. Oh yes, it's an island off mainland Orkney Islands. It's beautiful. Yeah, well, my friends are moving there. My friend, if you've ever watched any of my old Hermit on Tour, I've got a playlist called Hermit on Tour, and it's all my vlogs from places I've been to. There's a couple in there of a place called Tissington, which is a model village in Derbyshire in the Peak District. And it's beautiful there. And they've got a farmhouse, and they're moving there next year because their son already is on Sunday. And he converted some bothies for holiday lets and to live in himself. And they're going. And I went to see them a couple of weeks ago, and they said, would you come next year? So, hello, Carol. Nice to see you. So, yeah, Jen, they're little islands. Oh, some of them aren't that little, actually. Sunday is bigger than Jersey, which is a Channel Island. Yeah, so yes, I modded a deck. I did put it into Instagram, and it's the Crystal Tarot. And there is a new version coming out next month in October. Lo Scarabeo have done their which way should I go? Where is it? Their revamp. So, you know, like the Joker Tarot comes in this kind of box, better card stock and everything. Well, Crystal Tarot is having the same upgrade. I say upgrade. Some people have left comments saying, oh, you know, this is a better card stock. That's awful card stock. I'm looking forward to the new version. But then that gave me the impetus, if it's the right word, to finally trim the one that I have. Because if you recall, in fact, I might have a photo for those who haven't seen it, what it looked like, and it was always a bugbear of mine. Where's my Amazon photos? Here we go. This is what it looked like originally. So you'd got the multiple languages, fine. You know, a lot of the older decks for Los Scarabeo did. But then you'd got this white line going through the top and the bottom. And then at the sides, this kind of bulging blue, like the top and the bottom. It was bizarre. So I thought, do you know what? I know the stupid blue circle. I thought, I know the images. And, you know, pips are pips. So you can easily, you can count your pips. The only ones, I struggled a couple of times when I did it between like the emperor and a king and that sort of thing. I had to really kind of look and, but yeah, so I love it now. I think it is really, really beautiful. That's upside down. So you even know when they're the right way up or not. The colours in this are just so juicy. Really lovely. Let's show some swords. I trimmed my first ever deck this week. The Everida. Yeah, and I just love it. And I did a spread the other night. I put another picture up on Instagram. And I love these because they follow the Ouds Picard loosely. I would say the deck that follows Ouds Picard more accurately is the Universal Worth. So Universal Worth is the deck that has the Worth inspired mages and the Picard inspired pips, but more closely aligned than this. The other one, which is really easy to grab because it's only here, is the El Gran Tarot Esoterica. But this kind of does its own thing as well. Let's see, what's that one? 3 of coins. Right, let's go to 3 of coins and I'll show you. So the El Gran Tarot Esoterico. So you get it. And I'm really enjoying the Ouds Picard miners because they are different to Marseille. So it kind of does its own thing. Yes, there's a lot of esotericism aligned to it. You don't have to, take what you take and put what you don't on the shelf. But I love it because you get below and above, the sort of light and dark. So instead of it just being a 3, it's a 2 + 1. And then that just gives you so much more. And like Marseille, you get a particular configuration of a pattern. You do also with, like the 5s, make a pentagram. Look how beautiful, just beautiful. So here, if you're thinking about it, you've got 5 below, 3 above. 5, the darker side, could be that sort of disruptive influence, but the 3 takes you in a new direction because of that. Kim, hello. How lovely to see you. How are you doing? So they're the pips, but then this is our full card. So nothing is too makes me think, oh, I'm not too sure. I mean, look at the colours. Aren't they just gorgeous? Here's Death. So I'm really looking forward to the new version. The Moon card. Simon Corner did my... Oh, did you? Yeah, you see, the cardstock is quite thick on the Metronome, and I'd be worried that my corner rounder isn't sharp enough. Although I did all this the other day. Yeah, I used the smallest corner rounder, but this is thinner cardstock. I would just die if anything happened to my Metronome. Simon Good went to Tarot Symposium last weekend and thought of you. Wish you were there. Oh, I wish I'd been there. I'd love to go to the Tarot Symposium. Who was there? Anybody cool? I suppose everybody will cool. You were there, Kim. So therefore it was cool. Yeah, I'd love to have been there. We could have gone out for another night out. When I went to New York, met up with Kim. Kim was there around the same time, and we had a fab night drinking cocktails. Yeah, so anyway, really, really love this. There's the Sun card. Everyone at Newts is cool. So, I mean, I am on the lookout for the Ouds Picard deck. There was one released by Joanne Powell Talbot. Is that her name? She did this deck. Christine Payne Towler. Joanne Powell Talbot. Christine Payne Towler, who did the Holy Light. And so, again, when I talk about the decks that I'm trading, if anybody has that and they want to let it go, I'm happy to trade for it. So you just have to let me know. Hello, you. How are you? Oh, Becca, what did you really enjoy? Oh, paranormal video. Yeah. Everyone's saying hello to Chris. I'm sure I clocked a comment as well that I missed. I thought I'll come back to that. Oh, and I said I'd circle back to the Hermit's Cave. So 2 weeks ago, when I did the last Cuppa catch-up in cards, I did a bit of a plea saying that if people wanted to join the Hermit's Cave Facebook group, please answer the questions. We do give people 24 hours because then you get the alert. When we decline, we do select the decline with a reason, and we select the reason to say, the questions weren't answered. That really worked. There's more people now answering the questions. I just wanted to say thank you. And if you're one of them, I hope you're enjoying the group. And thank you for answering the questions. There are still quite a few. I would say it's about 60-40 now. Would you, Sandra? Would you say it's about that? About 40% do it and 60% don't, but that was better than the 80-20. So again, it's just so we know you're not a bot and in there to spam, because bots can't answer those questions. And then if they get in, and a couple have slipped through a few times, but I don't think they're necessarily bots. I think they answer the question, but then as soon as you let them in, they start spamming with things that they want to promote. Yes, I would say so. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to show you, and this is inspired by our Becca, if you're still here, Becca, in the chat. Becca showed a couple of weeks ago this deck. Well, this set, actually. and this is Witches Through History, a Grimoire and Oracle deck. And it's 25 cards, and my first thought was 25 cards. But I searched online and I was able to get it. And I've not opened it. So I've had it a couple of weeks. Well, since Becca showed it, which was about 2 weeks ago. But I thought, well, I'll wait for a couple of catch-up cards. It's not one I, plan to do a walkthrough of. But yeah, so it's just in a 2-part box with a lift-off lid. I mean, nothing, but it wasn't an expensive deck. And then you get your Grimoire, which is a decent book. Look at that. So quite a thick book. Amazing artwork. And that was one of the reasons why I thought, oh yeah, I've got to get this. Agnes Waterhouse. So some of the people in here, there's a section on Witches Familiars. The book was just as appealing to me as the cards. We've got like a little poppet here, look. It just looks really, really cool. Conjuration and evocation. When you evoke. Evocation. Mother Shipton. Well, it was last year I went to Mother Shipton's cave, which was a really cool experience. You go into the cave and there is a figure of Mother Shipton in the cave, and that's where she dwelled. That's in Knaresborough. So yeah, it just looks really cool. But the book looks brilliant. King James, well, he was the one who wrote the book, wasn't he? And behind the witch trials, especially like the Pendle Hill Witches, again, another place that I went to. It's all on the playlist. Who is the devil? I mean, look at that as well. A bit about Salem, the suffering of Salem. And the pages in the book are really nice. Paper stock, really nice. And then it goes into the oracle cards, of which I'll show you. So as I said, it's more for the book, but you do get 25 cards. Hello, Kathy. What was she famous for, Mother Shipton? She was she was classed as a witch. She did have a deformity, and she predicted that things would happen that did happen, the downfall of people and that sort of thing. And she was kind of outcast, so she went to live in a cave. Was she born in a cave as well? I need to go back and watch my vlog, because I talk about it in the vlog. But the book alone seems worth having. Yes, Thace. I agree. These are the backs. And the artwork is really good. So we have the Horned God, and the cardstock is nice. It's nice cardstock. The Horned God, nature, masculine energy, and abundance. Simon, what's this wizard everyone's speaking of? How have I missed that? How have I missed you all telling Chris about the wizard? Forever We're After. Wouldn't be the first time he's nearly got his magic wand out on YouTube's. I can't see where people have told him, but yeah, Lily Rose shouted at me, "Get your wizard out," or "Show us your wizard," which was funny. She wanted to see this guy here. Lily Rose, you've started something. I'll have to get a t-shirt done, won't I? Forget the Hermit. I'll have "Show us your wizard." Pure filth, Becca. Yeah, some things don't change. Mandrake root. The amulet. Bywell smut. I know, and that was even before Chris got in the chat. There's Agnes Waterhouse. Mother Shipton. Yeah, I don't know if she'd have been classed as a witch as such at the time, but she was certainly seen as a seer. And people went to her for advice, tinctures, that sort of thing. Belladonna. I love that Mandrake card. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Cauldron. We have the Devil, temptation, constraints, and negativity. Isabel Gowdy. Look at that hair. Oh, wrong way. The Hound. Look at that. Foxglove. Carter in suits. Yeah, I noticed that in the book. So glad you showed this deck. I'm reading the book now. Oh, wow. Wand. Have you shown it then, Marilyn? I don't recall seeing it. Alison Device. So she was one of the part of the Pendle Witch victims. I'm not sure of this one. Guide or Guide? Spand Major or Maga? Spand Major. The Raven. What's the difference between the horned god and the devil? Christianity. The horned god is older than the Christian devil. Often referred to as Kanunos, or there's other horned gods as well. Depends what you class as gods or deities, or there's Pan, but the horned god in pagan terms predates the Christian devil, but they had to demonize. Broom. We have Hecate. See, even going through them now, there feels like there's more than 25 cards. When you hear 25, you're like, 25, but Witch of Edna. In a word. The Owl. And then we have Dandelion and Torch. So it's really cool, isn't it? I'm not at home tomorrow because it's my sister's 60th, and there's a family barbecue that I'm going to. But this is while the weather's like this is a book to kind of sit down and just read, isn't it? Because it's really, herein lies tales of women both wicked and wise, for open minds and curious eyes. The author is what's his name? Devin Frost, Pennsylvania-born illustrator with a penchant, I love that word, penchant, for the dark and supernatural. Yeah, so I was going to look how many pages it was. 160 pages. So it's quite a nice book. So thank you for the recommend, Becca. Perfect for this time of year, isn't it? Oldest trick in the book, demonizing the adversary. Seeing a lot of that lately in the US. Yeah. Tale as old as time. Exactly like you said, oldest trick in the book. You've got to have something to demonize, particularly if you want to control the masses. There's got to be a common enemy, haven't there? And at one time it would have been other people's religious figures. Now it's other people's that tends to be demonized. It is Becca. What did Becca say? For the price, it's amazing. Yeah, it really is. Sorry, not sorry. Bad girl. Simon, I held off because I think Craggy Book Richery is going to review it. Right. That's a bit about Horned God and the Devil. Sorry, back to tarot. What's just ordered it, couldn't resist. Becca in between made me buy. Meraki, love it so much. So that was that. So the decks that I haven't put that back. I'm such a slovenly to get carried away. What's the name of the deck again? Witches Through History, Grimoire, and Oracle deck. Witches Through History, Grimoire, and Oracle deck. The only thing with Fournier decks, they put these books in that fold and they take up so much space that it's really, because they use tuck boxes, it's really hard to get them back in. You have to take it out and put it in with it, but then anyway, it is done. So pop that back there. So decks that I'm letting go of. First one is the 78 Tarot Nautical Tarot of Water. This was their first ever deck, I believe. One of a kind collective masterpiece celebrating art and tarot. So that's the first one. The second one, I thought long and hard about. Hello, Naomi. Lovely to see you. Every bloody week, what? Every bloody week I start watching this and think, I bought a deck this month. I'm not buying any more. Every bloody week another one gets added to the wish list. I'm sorry. I thought long and hard about this because it was a real investment at the time. But I don't use it. and I'm trying to let go of decks that I'm not using. And it's the limited edition Dark Mansion Tarot in the wooden box. And it's kind of sat in the purgatory containers, and I was like, I'm gonna leave it right on the top because I might pull it out and give it another go. I mean, it's beautiful, and I paid over £100 for it, and it's now out of print. It's by Taraka Studios. This is the the title card. They're rose petal finish. They are larger than the standard tarot because this was the special edition. It did have the smaller edition, so you can see the difference. Not hugely different, but bear in mind that if you do have small hands. And then it also comes with the certificate of authenticity, and this is number 101 of 500. There's only 500 made. Yeah, it did come a little bit smudged, the ink and the signature, but that's because it's ink, so it's genuine anyway. So you get them in the box, and then it also comes in this beautiful bag that feels suede. And it's not suede, but it's got that texture. It's got a gold string, gold lettering, and then on the inside, it's lined, it's gold as well. So it feels like real luxury. The edges are in brushed matte gold, and these are the backs. And they're just beautiful. Really lovely. Rose petal finish, as I mentioned. So that's another one that is going. But I am open for trades because I'm either selling them or trading them. I've got, like I said, I've got a wish list. So if anybody is interested, email me and we can discuss either, if you want to buy or you want to trade for a deck that I've got. But if anybody does have Oud's Picard deck, then that's currently top of my list. I just can't give up any decks I have for trade. I get it, because at one time I did trade decks and then I ended up buying them back. That is not going to happen now, because I know that if I've had this deck since, I think it was 2018, either 2018 or 2019, so 6 or 7 years, and I've only used it like once, then I'm not going to use it. So I may as well let it go. Otherwise, it's just taking up space and somebody else can get enjoyment out of it. And I can get a deck that I really want and know that I'll use. Tarot Geek says, Simon just got home from farmer's market and checked to see if you were on. And I made it to a live. Well, welcome. It's lovely to have you here. What's your email again, please? Let's see if I've still got it in banners. I think I deleted all the banners. Let me create one. It'd be easier to do it like this, won't it? Create. So that's my email address. And the two that are up is the first, I believe it's out of print. I checked, I couldn't find any way to buy it other than through trade or eBay. The first ever 78 tarot, which is nautical, Tarot of Water, or Dark Mansion limited edition. And to be fair, it will be, first come, first refusal, but, obviously I'm looking for certain decks. And I would sell, but I always feel a bit icky about selling. I don't know why. I'd rather trade to something of the same sort of value, but it's all negotiable. I'm not into Slavic legends, but I love the artist and the artwork. I've seen Slavic legends, yeah. Tommy Pie's looking for Cursed Ogre's Tarot. I think I've got that one. And I think I put it away for it to go. I think, is it the one that's got the pink and purple design on the box? I mean, I've done a walkthrough of every deck I've ever had. It disappears now, doesn't it? Since I had a channel. Obviously, I haven't got walkthroughs of decks before I had a channel. Auguries. How am I spelling it? Oh, it's not coming up at all. I must have spelt it wrong. A-U-G-U. Yeah. Okay. I do have it. I do. Do you have do you have Ouds Picard by any chance, Tommy Pie? But anyway, we're not here just to sit trading. Simon, Chris wants to see some of the cards from the 78 Nautical. Does he indeed? Well, we're here to please. It is a tuck box rage. We have a little book. Da, da, da. And we have an artist card. And then I think we have a couple of extra cards. And then it goes into the so you know the idea behind 78 Tarot. Different artist credit at the bottom. Sometimes they do more than one. It's Delphine's card. Let's have a look. I was eating an M&S cookie. Well, I like that one. They're again, quite a large card. There's Death, which is pretty cool. Devil. The P Monster. See if there's any more that... it's got artists like Jasmine Beckett Griffiths in there as well. Oh, I like that. Jessica Douglas's card. I have a lot of the 78 decks, but not this one. Doesn't that look like Johnny Depp, Pirates of the Caribbean? That's pretty cool. I really like the 78 Tarot Nautical, but I love the ocean, so it makes sense. Yeah, Joanna Nelson's got a card in there. I love that. See, I'm looking at it now and I'm like, but then I do that. If I look at a deck, I think, oh, but then I have to think, well, when did you last use it? And this is why I bought decks back. I buy decks back that I've let go of because I watch somebody else show it on a channel and they talk about it and they coo over it. And then we do that, don't we? When we watch walkthrough videos, we're like, oh, it can be quite infectious because you pick up on the energy of the person that's cooing about it. But I don't use it enough. That looks a little bit like Ross Salerno's art. It isn't, but I really like this one as well. Something very... I'd love to see a whole deck by that artist in this style. That would appeal to me. This one's beautiful. Really beautiful. So yeah, the 78 Tarot Nautical. Tarot of Water. It's a vicious cycle, Simon, I'd say. Tammy Pie says I do it all the time. As does Rachel. Yes, Johnny Depp. There's a museum. No, there's not. There's an art shop in Nottingham that's got some Johnny Depp tarot artwork. But I don't get it. Well, I do get it, the prints, but they're thousands, but they're not the originals, because then I went to, I think it was Lincoln. No, it was Leeds. I went to Leeds just before Christmas last year, and they'd got the same ones in their window. So I'm like, well, paying thousands just for a print. You're welcome, Chris. Simon, why don't you pair the decks that you do not use with another deck and use them together? Also change the bag that you have them in, and you'd be surprised the difference it makes. It's a good idea, but I am really trying to declutter and scale back. And so if I did that, I know I'd probably keep it, and therefore my collection would never shrink. It would just keep growing with decks that are coming in. So I'm trying to, and I've been successful so far, because there's decks that I've sold and traded for, which is on a par at the minute with decks that I brought in, because I'm thinking to myself, and they tend to be indie ones now, but I'm thinking to myself, like the Marco Benedetti deck. Well, I sold one of my, what's his name? El Goliath decks. So then I used that money to put straight back into buying a deck that I really wanted to get from Marco Benedetti. So that's kind of where I'm at the minute. So yes, Simon, you cuckoo me all the time. I've been selling my 78 tarots, only keeping the very first one. Had everyone stopped at the Halloween one and didn't get it. Are they still doing them? There was a talk that they were going to stop making decks, the 78 team. Is that has that happened? And also, I don't know if people have seen, but they're getting ready to ship the Greenwood. Did you all get the updates? Everybody that's backed it. What was that Simon had on a blog? There was a cool Johnny Depp that Simon had on a vlog. Yeah, that was, I think it was around this time last year. I think it was just before I went to Glastonbury, so it'll be October. I don't know what the vlog was about, but I remember filming outside the shop. If your collection keeps growing, you can open a tarot museum. Yeah. I did the same, Simon. Sold my first edition Goliath and brought some historic decks too. Yeah, it was the first edition I sold to a friend who lives in the city here. We met up for coffee. He's always wanted it. He brought his third edition for me to have a look at. I didn't connect with it at all. For me, the Goldilocks deck is the second one. It's the right size for me. It's perfect. The big one's nice. It was glossy, but it was nice to see all the images. But the second edition, if I was to get rid of one and keep the other, it's the first one, and that's what I did. So, and I don't want to be without an old Goliath deck because the artwork is amazing. But yeah, so that's what I did. Yes, Greenwood. Yeah, I got into a panic because when I backed it, it was an old address, and I was frantically messaging Sandra this morning saying, I don't know how to change the address, and it's going to go to an old address. And then there was a debate. He put a video out, and it sounded like if enough people want a 50-50 where the fronts are on soft touch and the backs are on gloss, we'll just do them all in that way. And there were a lot of people like, whoa, hold on a minute, we've already selected and that's what we backed it for. But he's issued a statement saying, no, it was just to get a feel. And if there is enough people wanting 50-50, we will do it a little bit later and perhaps have a second run of 50-50 decks. And yeah, so that I think that calmed a lot of people down because I don't think Mark Ryan was expecting the reaction that he got to that because yeah, I've had a deck before where the fronts are different to the backs and it doesn't work for me at all. So I would have been gutted. But the other big news is, if you haven't heard, that Red Feather have picked up Greenwood and they're releasing it next year, around this time next year, the fall of 2026. I was horrified. I was like, no. The video did sound like, from how I watched it, that if enough people want it, we'll do the whole lot this way. And I was like, what? But he's come back and said, no, we'll do another lot that way. But who knows? But it's not happening anyway. Simon, I know you trim the Druid Craft Tarot, but did you ever get and trim the Druid Craft Oracle? Which one? Well, the answer is no, but there's two, isn't there? There's the plant one and there's the animals, but no, I didn't. They're still as is. I don't tend to use them very often. So I love the fact that I don't have to worry now. These comments just disappear after so long. Front being soft matte and backs being glossy works like a treat. My first edition of Afro Goddess is like that, and I love it. Okay. I can't remember which one it was that I've got where it's like that, and I want that impressed. How did you sort it out, Simon? My address has changed and I haven't got a survey to fix it. So I didn't get a survey that I thought, but Sandra helped me. If you do it on the app, you can't. You have to go onto like a laptop or a computer, or go through. I used my iPad and I came out of the app and went to Safari and just went to the website. And then when you're in the website, you click on that campaign in your list, Greenwood. And when you're in there, you get the blue circle at the top. You click on that, and then you can go in there. And I forget the phrase. Don't know if you remember, Sandra, to pop it in the chat. But you get the option then to update your info. And then I messaged him and said, I think it's worked. Can you confirm the postcode of what you got? And he told me the new postcode. So I was like, yeah, we've cracked it. So yay. The old style. Yes, the old style tarot is having a sister coming out. Old style Oracle. I think, is that US Games? I seem to recall. If Cheryl's in the room, she'll know. I didn't realise it was going mass market yet. They've only announced it this week, Trisha. Yeah, and what he has said is, and I can believe it with Red Feather, what he has said is that, you know, we shouldn't be disappointed because what we're getting as backers, if we have backed it, is one of a kind. You know, it's still going to be indie, and who knows what it will look like. Oh, this is responsive today, isn't it? Who knows what it's going to look like when, you know, a mass publisher picks it up. Just looking at any more comments. Yeah, so hopefully that helps, Kim, in terms of how to yes, I did watch that about a month ago. It was really interesting. If anybody else hasn't seen it, it is on YouTube. Victoria and Albert Museum, Tarot Decks Through the Ages. My first Kickstarter deck came today, and I'm not impressed with the cardstock. I thought 310 would be decent, but it's giving Llewellyn vibes. Yeah, 310. I mean, it's better than 3, but you kind of really want to be at 350, I think, to get a good cardstock. Yes, you just go to the survey when you get the blue banner at the top and scroll down and change your address. I can't remember what it is that you click on to change your address. I wonder if I can show it. I'm having deja vu. Just at that moment, deja vu. I don't know how I dreamt this last night. This, even me saying this is deja vu. It's weird when that happens, isn't it? So Kickstarter, and then I'll just sign in. So again, through the internet rather than the app. Just put my password in, and I'll show you. Right. So where are we? So you go to Greenwood. This blue banner here. It's view survey there, look. So when you go click on view survey, I won't show you because it's got my address on it. You then get all your options. So soft touch and all that. And then you scroll all the way down and you've got address. And then it says this address will be used by the creator to ship any physical rewards and or to calculate tax for your pledge. They've added that now. And that's where you can update and then you submit it. But yeah, it's strange that you have to do it online and not through an app. You'd think the app would be there to make life easier. I couldn't find it through the app, and Sandra said, "Yeah, you have to do it online." I've got to show that. That is really funny. Ferdiad says, "I mean, it is a pity, but it's also funny. It giving Llewellyn vibes has become a byword for poor cardstock." Yeah, I found myself saying it like, I mean, the cardstock's okay. It's not Llewellyn bad. Llewellyn bad. It's just like, it's a shame. It really is. But I'm playing with Darkness of Light Tarot, first edition. I love this cardstock. Ignore that. I was like, okay, what? Yeah, no worries, Letty. What else is there to talk about? Wow, it's 8:15 already. I suppose I ought to. I feel like I've only just come on. I feel like I've only been on for like 20 minutes. What have we talked about for an hour and a quarter? It's bizarre. What else? The only other thing I've not opened yet is this deck. Don't know if everyone wants to see it yet now, though. But again, when I said I went to the shop, I went to Barbara and Flavia's shop. And I said on the vlog I did last week, when I came back and showed the goodies I bought, that Barbara was very ill and in hospital. I believe she's been sent home now. So that's good news. But if we can still continue to send healing love to Barbara, that would be great. Let's do the time warp again. Pulling out the wizard. What are you lot like? Okay, I'll just show a few of these. Hedgewitch cardstock is disappointing. Well, it's the new Llewellyn, isn't it? Feel the vibrations of the drum. So this is Spirit of the Drum. It's an oracle deck. It's by Rockpool, and they've been published by quite a few different publishers. Nice little book. It's 130 pages. You get a lot of information. So you get the picture and keywords, and then you get 2 pages of information about them. Drum guidance, a drum beat, the high beat and low beat, and then you get drummery. Temple drum. Yeah, so we'll have a look at these and then I'll go off. So nice. I mean, I like Rockpool anyway. Nice sturdy 2-part box. We've got a paper band. I almost sent it back. What, this deck? Chris loves Llewellyn cardstock. The new Llewellyn cardstock, Chris. I mean, I'd imagine some people would, but look at that. Beautiful. I love the images on the back and the red gilding. That's really nice. It's matte cardstock, really nice. But the artwork, so they had a copy of this open. Now, I know not everybody likes borders like this. And at first I was like, no, what a shame. But the artwork is so lovely, it won me over. So you get the type of drum and then a keyword. I won't show them all, but I'll show a few. This looks awesome. Oh, I mean, look at that. And do you see in the fire faces? See if I can, like, just above my finger there. It's like summoning the ancestors, isn't it? We have the death drum by the gallows. Oh, the old one. You don't know if you've got anything with the new one. Well, the bridal, whatever it's called, tarot, is the one I've got with the new cardstock. I think Cheryl and I are reviewing Hedgewitch next Saturday, so that also has that cardstock. But I want to try and get past it because I really want to use that deck. Birthing drum. Yeah, it is different, isn't it? Now, I think that's Barbara and Flavia. If that's not Flavia, because she does have her hair down usually, I've never seen it up, that's definitely Barbara. Look at that. So when I went to the shop, I wanted, because they've got all their, obviously their own stock, all their decks. I've got quite a few of their old decks anyway. and they've got lots of books and music, but I wanted to pick up a deck from them from their shop. So this is the one that appealed to me the most. Look at that. So it's different cultures and from around the world and how people use drums. We've got a Siberian drum here. I don't, Carol. I've got no idea. I rather suspect they'll change it back because they can't have escaped the hearing about people's reaction to it, because all of the publishers watch YouTube. You know, they have marketing teams, and they obviously, when they release something, they'll watch. And I haven't heard anybody yet not say something about this cardstock, and it's not been positive. So surely they take that on board. And as I've said before, that's why we see changes in the tarot community. That's why a lot of cards went borderless, because at one time everybody was saying, you know, don't like borders, and loads of cardstock went borderless. Don't like gloss. Lots of cards then started going matte. And if you think of like Blue Angel, that started reproducing the same decks, but in matte. So like Whispers of Lord Ganesha, I've got both versions, one in gloss, one in matte. So they do listen, because obviously they want sales. So I do feel that if we are disappointed with something like cardstock and it's a real deal breaker for us in using the deck, we have to let them know. We don't need to be rude about it. We just say, look, why have you changed this cardstock? For me, it's not usable. And the more people who feed back, the more they'll listen. It all goes down to sales at the end of the day. They're a business like anybody else. Yeah, so this is definitely Barbara and Flavia. That's a very good likeness. I didn't even realise they'd put themselves in the deck, but that's Witch Drum. The World Drum, like that. My husband is so sweet. He just brought me a snack and Coke so I don't miss my live. Oh. That's lovely. I have thoughts about cardstock that I will share next week. They changed the cardstock because they were listening to us, but didn't quite get it right. What, as in, yeah, but if they're listening to us, I'd be interested to hear what you say next week. Because my reaction is, if they're listening to us, they would have heard us say for years, probably ever since Tower of Wonderland, their cardstock had been compromised when they went from the big tuck box type. I'm looking at one now, Tower of the Vampires up at the top. Big tuck box type to their hard boxes, and the big colourful glossy books from the black and white books. They'd up the game with their packaging and their books, but we saw a significant change in cardstock, and that's got to have been going on for 6-7 years that we've all been saying it. So are you saying then they thought that was an improvement on their older cardstock, but not? No. If they just went back to the cardstock that they had like pre-2017, like their first edition of Green Witch, perfect. Or first edition of Hidden Realm, before they changed it. Oh, I see Raven's Prophecy Tarot. I'm on the 3rd audiobook. Yeah, see, I think that one, I had 2 versions of Raven's Prophecy. One was on a thicker cardstock, but they're not the only ones that do it. Osho Zen. I had 2 cards. I've got 2 cardstock of that. One is thick and one is not. But that wasn't Llewellyn. So it depends who picks it up, isn't it? Case in point, Druidcraft has had that many different publishers, and the cardstock and coloration is different every time. The last one is really glossy. But then you had one that was very washed with a green tint, and another one that was just right. It felt like, proper earthy tones. Good husband. Yeah, I agree. They are listening to us. Please make Druidcraft borderless. Yeah. And bring out as an anniversary edition, I don't know when the anniversary will be, but their flagship deck, obviously, for Llewellyn is the Llewellyn Tarot. Bring that back. Don't change the cardstock. Don't make it thin. The cardstock is perfect. But please give us something like this, but larger. And no, they've got to find a way to put the as well as the titles, the names in the majors, but you could fit them both in a panel at the bottom. Wouldn't be too. But please bring out an anniversary edition of this. No one else is going to pick this up because it's the Llewellyn Tarot. But this cardstock is great. This is like old Llewellyn cardstock. Yes, Simon agreed. Beautiful deck. What deck's that? Sorry, this is Llewellyn, the Llewellyn Tarot. I mean, look at that for the Magician. Beautiful. All right, we're at past. I've been on an hour and a half, so let's pull a tile. Let's have a rummage around deep. What do we need to focus on for this week? Hi, Sandra. Oh, hi, Susanna. Yes, borderless Llewellyn. Oh, that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Oh, John's made an appearance. We have the 9 of Cups. So, 9 of Cups for this week. Whatever our hearts have desired should come to fruition. So that we've been longing for, that we've been wishing for, I would say take this as a sign that this week that will manifest. However, the 9 of Cups also not gives a warning, but it asks us to consider, actually, are we already fulfilled in other areas? Are we overlooking that brings us joy, comfort? And it might be because I was brought up in a church, but there used to be a song we used to sing called "Count Your Blessings," name them one by one, as primary. And I always think of that song when I see this, because sometimes we have a desire or we have a wish, and we think that when we achieve it, that's going to fill a need, a void, whatever it is in us. And very often we don't look at what's around us and take comfort, not always anyway, and take comfort in what we do have. And the 9 of Cups does kind of indicate that our wishes will come true and our true heart's desire will be fulfilled. But it also tells us to also take stock, think about what we've got in our lives, and to make that conscious choice to think about whether that we think we want, we really want. And that doesn't mean that it's wrong to want it. It just asks us to think about, if you get it, what will it bring or add to my life that isn't already around me, that's already there. Hello to Moya. I'm just finishing up. It's nice to see you. Don't gatekeep all the wine, Josh. But anyway, lovely to see you all. Thank you for being here. Next Saturday is the 20th already, and it's highlighted on my calendar. It's Spotlight. So I will be joined by the lovely Cheryl, and we will be taking a look at new UK releases. I don't know what is up Cheryl's sleeve. She's not shared anything with me yet. I think she's probably thought, I'm not going to tell him till the last minute because I know how impatient he is and how I'll probably be bugging her. But yeah, so next week, 7 p.m, same time, will be Spotlight. Have a fantastic week, everyone. And I've still got a couple of decks to share from Spotlight that I want to get in before this Spotlight. And also, if the decks that I ordered arrived, I'll be on to show them as well. But yeah, take care, everyone. And until next time, go in peace. Namaste and blessed be.